All right, howdy everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are ready for some racing. We're in a controversial area right now, Jeddah. But despite all the noise, despite all the background, I'm sure it's going to be a bomb of a time. This is the Division 2 race for the Zoom Racing League. We got some of the most electrifying and exciting drivers on the grid for you tonight, and I'm promising you an explosive race at Jeddah. Moving on, I'm back with my partner in crime this week, Buffalo. We've been out for a little bit, but we're back together. So Buffalo, how you been? How are you?
OG, it is great to be back in the booth, man. I'm feeling good. Coming off a fun D3 race. I absolutely love this track, so really looking forward to the action today. It's quick, it's difficult, it's demanding on the drivers. I think we're going to see a lot. So going into our driver standings, actually right now we have the Alpine driver of Johannes Ludwig in the lead with 187 points, followed closely by Sid, who's down by about 22 in the Ferrari, and Garrett Elder in the Red Bull. 133 rounds out the top three. OG, how are the constructors looking for you?
I mean, it's looking uh pretty similar. Like you see an Alpine at the top, a Red Bull. Red Bull is second in the constructors. They're third in the drivers. But it's looking about the same. Alpine at the top, Red Bull and Ferrari fighting for P2, P3. Um, and so that's just how it is. Alpine's still at the top. Everyone else kind of fighting for that spot. Um, but everyone else has been on the come up. Alpine, here and there, they've had a little bit of slip ups. I think they won last week in Bahrain, but we are here.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Red Bull Ferrari battle, man. They're right now they're separated by 1 point. Right, you got Sid and Sleek versus Garrett Elder, Shaggy Muffin. I mean, four real top tier drivers. They're gonna battle it out for the last four, and we don't have any more breaks, OG. So we're gonna have 4 weeks in a row of on track action.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be like a hell of a finish, I believe. It similar to last season. They came down to the final race, and there was a lot of controversy in that final race, but I'm expecting to see more of the same here.
Yeah, we will see. Looks like some drivers are starting to get out on their outlap.
Yeah, so Connor in the Williams is the first driver out right now, so we'll be on board with him as he starts the first flying lap of the qualifying session here at Jeddah. You know, the Williams has struggled quite a bit this year, Buffalo. And I don't know necessarily what it is, but 3 races to go, you kind of gotta put it together right here, right now.
Yeah, they're looking to shine a little bit, right? Because where they are in the standings, right? They're kind of towards the back marker. So what these drivers are thinking is, look, I got to put myself in the best position possible for next season's draft and make myself look good to some of these mid-marker and top-tier teams. So I think that Connor and Snoop Francis will really be trying to kind
Ah,
of outperform their rank here, as it looks like Connor just validated.
that he did, I believe, is Enjoyer on a hot lap. He is. So Enjoyer behind him in the McLaren. He's a reserve driver. 2 reserve drivers here in the McLaren this week. And what I thought was the youngest race winner in Zoom Racing League history, Freddie Rozelle. It is not the youngest race winner, but I did say that probably about 20 times during the French Grand Prix. That was completely wrong, but I'm not going to back down from it. I'm going to say he's one of the youngest race winners in Zoom Racing League. He's down in P19, but he hasn't set a lap yet, obviously. Got P2 in the Division 3 race, won the French race. I think got P2 or 3 in the Bahrain race. So he's definitely D2 level, and Enjoyer slips up a little bit, saves the lap, but definitely gonna want to go for another one.
Yeah, OG, Raz is going to be a driver to watch, man. I mean, like you said, he's coming off a P2 in the race that we just had. He's warmed up. He knows what strategy worked here at Jeddah, and he's just got the raw pace. So he could be a sneaky pick to have like a top 5, top 10 finish because he has the pace to meet up with these D2 guys. So he's one to watch for me.
Yep, and Enjoyer on the mediums says a 130.3. There's a lot of drivers right behind him going to come to the line. Garrett Elder's going to start his hot lap. Um, but yeah, he's definitely one to watch. A couple other drivers I think people should keep an eye out for, whether it's for good reasons or for bad reasons. I'm kind of going to let y'all decide based on what I say. But Spanini and Ethan Patel, they finished an endurance race, the Sebring 12 last night. Spanini did quite a bit more than Ethan as Ethan fell asleep. But Spanini, he didn't have as much practice this week coming in. He's one of the faster drivers in Division Two. He's keeping up with a lot of Division One guys, but he hasn't been able to practice this week, and he just put in 6 hours worth of driving on a completely different car on a completely different track. And so we'll see how that translates, whether he's a little bit fatigued from driving altogether, or whether, like this kind of new environment puts in a new energy, so to speak, and if he can just put it together and ball out.
Oh, as Brian Hackman just went off and wheels off, he DNF'd, so he has now crashed out of the session. Just saw that on the tail end. Looked like it was right in sector 1, kind of going like into the S's, and he kind of just lost it. And his front left wheel is flopped down on the ground. So Brian Hackman looks like he'll start P20. Rough start to qualifying there for the Alfa Romeo.
And his teammate Fitz Dickwell, 130.1. Garrett Elder goes 127.7, which was the pole time in Division 3. I believe that was maybe the exact same time as Buzzcott. And Alex, Mr. Consistent, Alex, 28.7. He's definitely going to go for a faster lap than that. Alex is a fan favorite here in the Aston Martin. I expect him. I don't know what kind of car he's going to get next season in the draft. It wouldn't be surprising if he stays in the Aston Martin, but I do expect him maybe move up a little bit, maybe to an AlphaTauri. Who knows? But yeah,
I
Alex.
agree. I think he's underrated, and he's been consistent, and I can definitely see him kind of getting a ride that maybe traditionally drafts higher than Aston Martin. So I'd certainly be on the lookout for that, because we've seen him have incredible pace depending on the circuit here. So he's got the chops.
Yeah, no, and it's like all kinds of different tracks as well. Monaco, he was doing great. He had a little bit of a slip up, but he was in a great position and still is. And then we got Revis in the chat noticing something spectacular. Spanini and Ethan have been driving a Ferrari basically all weekend, and is that a sign of things to come next season? I don't know. Maybe there'll be a trade. Who knows? As the two Ferraris right now, Sid P2, Sleek P8, 28.8 and 28 flat. Both those, I expect both those guys to get in the 27s, but
yeah, classic Sid with P2 here early in quali. As I was on board with Marino, and he tapped the right-hand side, his right wing, on his outlap. So I'm not sure if he's going to come in. It does look like he has damage. He was going into turn 22 and 23, a little bit wonky. I wonder if we'll see Marino go back into the pits, get some fresh tires, and try again.
Yeah, and Marino, I think he got, 4th place in the Division 3 race. And everyone's diving into the pits right now. 4th place in the Division 3 race. He did have a couple of little incidences. I think he could have gotten 3rd, but he did hit the wall a couple times, as we do have a returner. I think he was here last week, but, I wasn't here last week. But PBJ, the Division 2 champion of Season 1, he's back, and he's in the Haas right now. He put in a 28.3. I don't know what to expect from him. He's also, I believe he was doing the Sebring 12 as well. So will he suffer, from just not knowing the car, not knowing the track, hasn't been able to put in the hours? I just don't know how it's going to go.
Oh, I think he's going to fly, man. I mean, look, past D2 champion, right? I know he's been racing a little bit this weekend. I've seen him on Steam, right, on F1, getting his laps in. Taking the second seat in the Haas. Our boy Flo Rida, of course, down to reserves, working with some other commitments now. And PBJ takes a seat. And, now that you mention that, I'd be curious to see how many points PBJ can score in the Haas and bring that team up. And, maybe they could compete with something better. They're for sure put Williams away.
Oh, as Spanini invalidates. But, yeah, I think, PBJ is definitely going to, we're in equal performance cars, but I'm still going to say he's going to outperform the car maybe a little bit and shoot where they're not. And, NVA's been getting better and better as the season goes on. But PBJ is definitely going to bring that extra level to the team.
Yeah, absolutely. He brings a lot of experience. And, I hope they're in team chat, too, talking a little bit of strategy there, too, as I'm on with Enjoyer here. Looks like he's on an outlap, finishing up in Sector 2. Currently sitting in P11, but on mediums. So now he's running soft tires, and I'll try to improve upon his 129.4.
And he definitely will on those softs. I don't think there'll be a driver out here that isn't in the low 28s, as I'm on board with AlphaTauri, Cole Cummins. Yeah, a little bit of traffic. He's coming in. You know, it's a busy track right now. It's definitely slowing him down quite a bit. So, you know, the lap time we're going to see, assuming it stays valid, is not necessarily indicative of his pace. But we're going to see what he can do. You know, he's getting close to the wall. That's what you want to see. Could have been earlier on the throttle there, harder on the throttle. Wasn't as close to the wall on that one. So I really don't know how this AlphaTauri team is gonna. It's gonna be boom or bust this week. I think. I really don't know how they're gonna react.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that, going back to Enjoyer and Shaggy Muffin, both had said previous times on mediums. I'm curious, OG, what, as Enjoyer just invalidates, actually, so he'll have to go back in and start all over again. But, OG, what's your opinion on kind of the alternate strategy? Because I was under the impression that the soft to medium may be a better call because you're also prepared for an early safety car, right? If you're on the mediums and an early safety car happens, you're not going to go on hards. They're kind of a poor race tire, so you're a little bit SOL. What were your thoughts on the strategy?
You know, I'm all in on the soft to medium. I think you should pit, honestly, from lap 3. If there's a lap 3 safety car, you're on the softs, get to the mediums and go to the end.
Yeah.
But I did, last season I did the medium strategy and it worked. I had a great race from P20 to ended up P3 due to, random things, a lot of luck. But
Yeah, I remember.
like that's what it takes. If you're going to do that alternate strategy, you have to have a lot of luck because it's not ideal. As NBA also retires, it's just not what you're gonna. It's just not ideal. That's just all there is to it.
I'm currently on with Raz, OG, and I believe he's just set purple sector 1 and purple sector 2, and he's coming around the last hairpin. We'll see what time. See if he can improve upon his P3 of 128.1. Again, this is a D3 driver reserving in D2, showing the pace.
Whew, and he goes 27.8, and he ran out of battery there at the end. So he definitely had a little bit, maybe half a tenth more. So
yeah, could have.
He's got a lot of pace. In general, he's really coming into his own as a driver. Last season when he joined, he was not the fastest, not the most consistent. Maybe a little bit of a danger on track, I would say. But these past couple weeks, especially, he's been putting in more and more time, and just overall getting better. And so we're gonna shout out Raz real quick for being in P2 for right now. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Great qualifying so far.
Yeah, he's looking good. Looks like Sleek invalidated too. I think he was on another heater. How are the Mercs doing? Currently in 7-8 with the Aston Martin in 9. That's kind of where they've been in qualifying, right? OG is kind of middle of packs between 7 and 13, right? You'll see most of those guys.
And then he just goes P2 right as you say that, Mr. Sandunga.
There it is.
Revis is telling you to say that about Big Mama Frank for his
me
next
wrong,
lap.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, you're definitely right about it. I think, Sandunga, similar to Raz, is definitely coming into his own, maybe more confident. Things are going more his way as the season's gone on. But, I would agree that both Big Mama Frank and Mr. Sandunga are better racers than they are qualifiers. And so if they qualify at the front, then that's super exciting. That's a big deal because they're going to make up positions. They're going to be fast in the race. So qualifying up front is just an added bonus almost.
Yeah, Spunini just said his first flying lap of the session, currently in P10 with a 128.5. He ran out of ERS 2 at the end too, and I think a lot of that is setup dependent, OG. I mean, I personally ran something like a 9.5 wings, not that I have incredible pace, but I didn't have a lot of problem regenerating ERS, and I was using it pretty frequently, but I know other drivers in the paddock have. What was your ERS situation?
So, I was a bit of a I don't know what the word is. Maybe idiot. I didn't like, so during the race, I just, as Mr. Sandunga puts it on provisional pole 27.6, I didn't use my ERS until the last 3 laps, but by that point it was a little bit too late. And so I had no ERS issues, but it's just because I didn't use it. And then in quali, I didn't get, I didn't get the laps I wanted in. And so, yeah, I don't know, but Mr. Sandunga, he was on rails that lap, absolutely flying 27.6. We're going to see, can Garrett Elder respond? He was early on the throttle out of that corner. And Shaggy Muffin up into P4 as well.
It's weird, like he looked a little bit slow coming out of that corner, but it was smooth, and I think he maintained a lot of speed, so I don't think he was slow. He's just so smooth that it looks effortless.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a thing. Like, in swimming, as he goes 27.4, so
wow.
In swimming, it's like, you look at this guy, and he's just going so smooth, and so it looks like easy, but then he's putting in, really fast times. He's absolutely flying, but it's just, he's so delicate, he's so graceful, and that's kind of what we just saw right there as he goes 27.4, just a graceful drive right there.
Mm-hmm.
And if we watch, another Williams driver, we were on Connor at the start, and now with 1:30 left, we're on Snoop Francis. And we're going to see what he can do. He's not got a fantastic lap yet, but he's close to the wall right there. So this one's definitely looking better than the other one.
Yeah, I think the last time I was in the booth, OG, was maybe Monaco. And I think that Snoop Francis was having a tough time with that track.
That was a hard one.
But I'm hoping he can improve here. This track is probably the polar opposite of Monaco, wouldn't you say? So maybe this one will work out better for him.
Yeah, dude, that one was really, really hard from Snoop and Connor, really. I think Connor just gave up after Snoop DNF'd. So if one of them stays, they both got to stay in the race, basically. He goes 30.5, so he goes slightly better. I think he's gonna do another lap. But yeah, he's got to get out of the 30s for sure if he wants a chance at like top 15.
Yeah, also, it doesn't look like Drip has set an actual lap. It looks like maybe the time he was impeded or maybe bailed at one point. So he still hasn't really set a proper quali time. He's currently on an outlap, and I don't know if he'll make it to the finish line in time. He may be stuck with that 151.7.
He's got 10 seconds. We're going to hop on board with him right now. I don't think he's going to make it either. Nope, he's not going to make it. We're going to hop on board with who's still driving right now? Razzle Dazzle. Freddie Rozel's driving right now. He's in P4 in the McLaren. And he's gave up as well. I really don't know.
Cole Queemans is on. He's sitting at a 136. He's on a heater, currently 9/10 up on his best time as he enters Sector 3.
And he might get a little bit of a tow from these guys in front. I don't know how far away they are, but it might impede him as well.
Yep.
Oh, no. Get out the way. Get out the way. And it's Snoop Francis.
It's Snoop. Of course it's Snoop.
Get the tow. Get the tow. Get the tow.
I think he did get a little bit of a tow, whether it was on purpose or not. He'll improve to P15, 129.5.
Yeah, so he drops an entire second. So great lap, all things considered. And the AlphaTauris, you want them to be, probably. I personally would want the AlphaTauri to be up there 1-2s, but realistically, you want them fighting for like a 10th, 10, 11, 8 through 11, really. And so 13 and 15 or 16, while not terrible, is definitely not ideal. But if we give the rundown, right now we do have a 1-2 in the Honda family. It's Garrett and Shaggy. Shaggy, we missed his lap, but it was a 27.49, right behind Garrett. So Red Bull 1-2, followed by Mr. Sandunga, followed by Sid, followed by the Division 3 youngest driver winner, Raz, Sleek, Big Mom, Frank Marino, Ethan, and PBJ.
Yeah, my two drivers to watch, I think definitely Raz right now in P5, and they're going to be PBJ in P10, right? Newcomers to D2. PBJ, of course, actually has the hot seat, and Raz is their reserve. They're going to shake some things up today, OG, man. I feel really good about what they're going to do.
So, all those things I said about Raz earlier, though, he's definitely improved. That's, you can't deny that at all. One thing you can put into question, though, is his ability to race around others. Some people are a bit skeptical. I'm a Raz believer right now, but he's with a higher class of driver than he normally is. He's going to be put to the test. He's going to be put under more pressure. So if he's able to, hold himself together, keep it on track, not touch other drivers, then I think that'll be huge for him. And I think he definitely has a shot at doing it. Definitely has a shot at a podium as well. He's P5, so great quality from him. And we're gonna see what he can do in the race.
Really excited to see kind of something different here. Of course, the start here going into turn one is always chaotic. We had a number of spins in D3. Later on, we had an early VSC as well. So, and then of course in the actual race, right? Last year, lot of action to say the least. Couple restarts, couple red flags. So I'm sure we'll see something in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it's a weird turn because it's pretty close, but it's not right there. So you can get a little bit of speed. You brake way later than you normally do. Um, and some people aren't ready for that. Some people brake too early going to turn one. They lose a couple position. Dude, it's chaotic, super chaotic.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, right? Because you think usually at the start your braking line, just because everyone's in front of you, would be a little bit sooner, but you don't have the speed you usually do going into that turn, so it's really much
Oh,
later.
and I believe is that Sid? Sid had just Sid or Sleek. It's a formation lap, luckily, but they did they had an awful launch and they went to the wall. But yeah, that was just weird.
Have to deal with cold tires at the start.
Hold on, Buffalo. For a second there, it just sounded like you were in the bathroom, like the with the echo. I don't know if like a mic disconnect or what had happened.
I'm figuring connection things out. Hold on. Is that better?
That I believe it's better.
New house, new studio.
Yeah,
I'm
there we
figuring it
go.
out.
There we go. Yeah, it just happened. I think something must have just got a little bit loose, but we're back. We're ready to go.
So what are the tire choices here too? I want to take a look at the strategy here. We got, let's see, 5 medium tire runners at the start. Alex, Enjoyer, NVA, Cole, and Drip. So we'll see how that strategy works out for them. An early safety car might be tough for them to come up with a good one, because you don't want to go on hards here.
Yeah, no, the hards. We saw Pylon in Division 3, he was a reserve driver. He did the hards, but it didn't necessarily work out. I think he got P9, P10 maybe.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not the tire you want to be on. Soft, medium, and the mediums feel great. Mediums last forever, so the medium is the tire I'd want to be on personally. As Garrett has left the session right before the race start, that is not good. That is no bueno.
Trying to get some intel from the paddock to see if maybe it's a lobby issue, but I don't see anything right now.
So we're gonna have to hope, or Garrett's gonna have to hope, that
That's
the
gonna have
AI
huge
has a
implications.
great launch. But
Yeah.
so the person to look out for, I think, is Mr. Sandunga, who can just drive straight through Garrett. So,
Hearing intel from the Red Bull side that the game may have crashed, so hopefully the AI doesn't start too poorly and he's able to get back in and take over the seat of his car quick as we're off.
and so, you know, he did get a pretty decent start. Shaggy Muffin, Mr. Sandunga had to take the runoff right there to avoid collision. Ferrari a little bit everywhere, but Garrett's still in the lead somehow. Shaggy Muffin in P2, Sid in P3, Mr. Sandunga followed Raz still in P5. If we take a look at the positions change, it's, you know, not the big drops and highs we normally see at the very start, but Enjoyer is one of those drops. It's just inevitable. He's down 8 positions. Garrett has finally fallen. He's back, or not back yet. His AI is just slow right now in P5.
Yeah,
So
falling
Shaggy
over.
Muffin's going to have to hold it down while he figures that out.
Yeah, this is a tough situation. I've definitely been where Garrett is. It seems like once a race, I think that I crash. Of course, I'm nowhere near the front like Garrett is now, so this matters so much more for a driver of his caliber. But yeah, it looks like Big Mama Frank is about ready to overtake his Ghost as well.
And then Ethan Patel right behind him. Yeah, the Ghost, it's so slow. The AI is so there's tracks that the AI is good at and bad at, and it doesn't really matter the level. And this is one of those where the AI is just bad. But I believe Garrett Elder is back, and he is. So he's going to take that position back from Ethan Patel. Ethan, sorry, but you're out of here. And now he's going to hunt down. He's going to try to get back. Well, Ethan Patel had a better exit, so he's going to.
Oh.
But he's going to have the run on him. Shaggy Muffin still in P1. Garrett's got a lot of work to do, but he's got 24, 25 laps for it.
That exit, OG, coming out of that last hairpin is so crucial. If you get beat on the exit, even if you have DRS, it becomes incredibly difficult to make that pass. So that's one of the most important turns as far as getting on the throttle early, getting that power down to maintain or overtake position.
And Ethan Patel goes a little bit wide, which lets Sleek, but Sleek goes a little bit deep in there, so that 2 little mistakes. Sleek's still ahead of Ethan right there, but you know, it's a very technical track. You gotta, is that Sid? Sid has spun around.
I was on with Ethan Patel, and I wonder if he'll have to change his pants. He turns the corner and sees the front of Sid's car, and man, that's a scary moment.
And so just like that, Garrett is back up, and not back up there, but he's up into P5, and not far off of Big Mama Frank, Mr. Sandunga, Raz, or Shaggy.
A little bit of battle going here in 6, 7, and 8. We have the D3 reserving in D2 here. Marino putting a lot of pressure on Ethan Patel in P7, and they're trying to stay within DRS range of Sleek for when that kicks in next lap.
So you got to wonder, you know, these guys they're not normally teammates, so it is a reserve. So you got to wonder, they're not going to be as in touch with each other as great chemistry as Ethan's normal team Johannes. So you got to wonder, maybe Marino does something, goes for a move, just tries anything that might spook Ethan and mess him up. Because we know the Alpine is prone to that, at least in Division 3. Marino and Dom definitely had their scuffles.
Sure.
So Marino's got to, I don't know what he's going to do. If he's faster than Ethan, he's going to get past him, but you gotta be in the DRS train.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because Marino essentially was the first pick in D3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he's probably fighting for either a D2 seat if he advances, or he's fighting to keep that top-tier D3 seat. So, you know, a strong showing here, reserving for D2, could go a long way in his future next season. So I think he's going to push.
I would agree with that. You know, I don't think he's going to make the cut up into D2. I think there's going to be 2 drivers, potentially 3. Axelized, Buzzgod, Division 3 champion, by the way. Buzzgod, Axelized, potentially Raz. I think Marino had a rough start at the beginning. He didn't have necessarily the same pace, or maybe he had the same pace he had last season, but everyone else just improved quite a bit more. And so he's still going to be at the top of D3. And he's got to, you know, kind of show out and get that #1 pick again.
Big Mama Frank currently on the butt of Mr. Sandunga. He started P7, so he's moved up 3 places. And just like you said, right, those Mercedes guys, they qualified pretty well, and they're racing even better. So early on here at Jeddah, they're looking to put in a strong performance.
Yeah, they're great racers. They keep it clean. You know, I know he has a penalty right now, Mr. Sandunga, but for the most part, they keep it clean. They don't hit other drivers, and they're just fast. And so yeah, they're gonna be racing near the front of the pack, probably this entire race. And Garrett Elder is hunting him down right now. He's got DRS, but they're going to be switching back and forth DRS on each other. But
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. Go on.
I would say, speaking of that, Marino has just passed Ethan Patel and is trying to get a gap up himself. Currently, Ethan Patel not in DRS range, and that'll be crucial, right? The 1 DRS on the back stretch and then on the front stretch. If Marino can clear Ethan Patel by a second, he should be clear going into the next lap, and that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if it goes back to the endurance race. You know, Ethan is not as prepared as he normally is. He's not got his teammate. There's just a lot of things that are different about this race than there are other races. And it's just adding up. As Garrett goes fast as 30.9. He's looking down the inside of Frank, but he's just not going to go for it. Way too far back. But he's on their tail right now.
Yeah, Spanini just passed Ethan Patel himself. He got great DRS going in the front stretch, and PBJ is hot on his gearbox as well. So Ethan Patel lost 2 places in the past lap and is in danger of losing 1 more if PBJ can be quick around here.
And Marino picks... Oh, and there's not contact, but, Ethan goes... And there maybe a little bit is contact. Ethan cannot take the S's right now. I don't know what's going on.
Is wing damage?
I don't know. It's definitely potentially has wing damage, but I couldn't see anything from that little view right there. But you never know. Even a little bit of wing damage goes a long, long way.
Yeah, Sid will look to close that gap too. He's currently a big loser here, down 7 spots after starting P4.
Another loser. I don't know. Shaggy Muffin must have had a little bit of an incident with himself. He was 2 seconds clear. He's now down into P3. Raz is your leader of the race in the McLaren, leading the race, followed by Mr. Sandunga, followed by Shaggy Muffin, Big Mama Frank. So Shaggy had to have had damage. He's diving into the pits. He should go the rest of the way, but it'll be interesting to see where he comes out. But Garrett Elder, after an abysmal start due to no fault of his own, is in a great position as Big Mama Frank has to avoid his teammate Mr. Sandunga. Mr. Sandunga went a little bit deep, had a terrible exit coming out of turn 2, and now they swap positions.
Raz with a little bit of razzle-dazzle there in P1.
There we go.
And Toto Rivas has got to be pretty pleased right now. He's got a McLaren sitting in P1, right? He's got both his Mercs in 2 and 3. Keep it up, guys.
He's definitely relaying that message, but I've got a message for Toto Rivas. He's coming, and he's coming fast. Garrett Elder will not be denied the position 1 that he thinks is his. He's going to be coming hard. He's going to be coming fast, but there is, 19 laps left. Anything could happen in this race, but as it stands right now, it's phenomenal for the Mercedes power units.
As we follow the action in front, it looks like 2 drivers who have pit, just like you mentioned before, Shaggy Muffin and Ethan Patel went in too. I wonder if he did have a little bit of wing damage. So Ethan Patel has opted to go on the hards, whereas Shaggy Muffin opted to go on the mediums. So it's right at that borderline though, right, OG? I mean, I think personally me and you would go mediums, so we'll see if Ethan Patel can make those hards stick.
But, something, I noted, but I had heard if this is a safety car, no safety. If there is a safety car, no! Is it a VSC? Is it an actual safety car? I have no idea.
Yeah, Fitz Stickwell is out of the race.
If it's an actual safety car, Garrett just missed. He just passed the pits. He could have had a phenomenal, perfect opportunity. But I can't tell. I don't know if it's virtual or if it's actual. It's not coming up on my screen.
It looks proper to me on my end. I believe it's a full safety car as far as I can tell. So Spanini, PBJ, Shaggy Muffin went in. Nope, sorry, Shaggy Muffin went in before. Brian Hockeman, Marino, Snoop, Francis, Pitt, and they're all going on mediums.
So yeah, this is yeah. I would pit lap 7. You're at lap 7, lap 6. Pit to the mediums, go all the way to the end. If I'm Ethan,
Nope, sorry about that. I was on with Ethan Patel. He had a little bit of a spin out coming out of turn 3, and it looked like he would have almost pulled a Grosjean, and he kind of saved it.
it would have been Brian Hackman's fault. I promise you that. But like, if I'm Ethan, I'm pitting again. I'm getting off the hard tires.
Because you have an opportunity to do so.
I mean, you have an opportunity to do so. We just saw his hard tires weren't, grippy like that. But what I was going to know earlier about the hards, maybe this is kind of what he's thinking, is in the real life, I had heard, some of the drivers like the hard tires because they can beat them up a little bit more. They don't have to treat them as delicately. They can just go, 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 go. Whereas, if you're on a softer compound, you have to take better care of them. So I'm wondering, maybe he's just going to go balls to the wall, but I don't necessarily know if that's how that works in this game. But, I don't know. So those front 5, sorry, are pitting. Alex, will he pit? I assume so. And so that means basically everyone has made a stop. Everyone has made their stop. And we'll see where everyone comes out.
I don't know if you saw it, but you just kind of got a swath of speeding in the pit lane. Garrett Elder and Sleek, both with 5-second penalties. That'll be huge as far as implication goes for the front runners.
And we know there is an issue with the speeding in the pit lane system that they use at Jeddah. It's like, I don't know if the laser scan or whatever, something's not right with it. So that can be contested, but if there's another late safety car and they have to pit again, they'll have to pit and they'll have to serve that 5 seconds. There's just
right,
so they're hoping there's no more safety cars, no more nothing, and so yeah, I don't know. Sleek and Garrett, no
Sleek
bueno.
and Garrett. Yep. Hold on, let me double check and make sure I'm giving you the right information here. But yeah, that's Sleek and Garrett currently with a 5-second, as well as Connor down in P16. So those could be removed. Top 10, all on fresh medium tires. Alex on softs. Now, he started on mediums, right? So is he going to try to go, how many laps left? 17 on softs?
He could do it. It's doable, but it's not going to be very fun towards the end. Not going to be fun.
You gotta be careful because if you lose it for a second on a track like this, I mean, you can be in the wall.
Yeah.
Really quick with a heavy impact. So
and Ethan Patel also going to the softs as opposed to the mediums.
Oh right, so he did pit. We were just talking about that. He did go in again.
I should have clarified when I said Ethan, you should go in. I should have said you should go in for the mediums. But we're on the softs. Yeah, I don't know. So only 3 drivers on the softs. Everyone else is on fresh mediums. Alex, Enjoyer, and Ethan Patel looking to make up a lot of time, a lot of positions early in the stand. As Enjoyer's going back into the pits, so he's switching to the mediums, I would assume.
He's changed his mind. Yep, like it.
And he's down in P14 already, so I don't have much to lose.
No, at that point, you're kind of waiting for something to happen, right? And you're putting yourself in the best position to potentially make overtakes and get to the end of the race. So, cars are starting to get bunched up here. I wonder if we'll see the safety car in this lap.
I don't know.
Because of how quickly NVA and Haas can get up to the pack.
And then it should be in this lap, yeah. All right, Buffalo, I got a question. What makes this track so enjoyable for you?
I think it's... I love the yeses in Sector 1. I love the right-hander and left-hander in Sector 2. And it's just one of those, like, in Coda, when you hit the S's right and you nail it,
Yeah,
and it
it
just
just
feels
feels
amazing.
amazing.
This track has like multiple areas of
Moments.
that for me.
Yeah.
And I also like the strategy of the two DRS zones at the end of Sector 3 and the beginning of Sector 1. Because you really have to gauge, like, okay, if I make this pass in Sector 3, can I make it stick through Sector 1?
Yeah.
Do I hold back, and am I going to have enough oomph to make it clean in Sector 1? So I like the strategy. I like how it feels when you nail the lap. It's just a lot of fun for me.
I agree, dude. It definitely like Sector 1 when you hit those little S's perfectly, I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything better. Safety car is in this lap and Raz will lead the restart and we're going to see what kind of, strategy he comes up with here. Leading a restart, it can make or break your your race really. Is Raz looking to let's see, is he gonna go? No, he's waiting buying his time, buying his time.
Can he catch him sleeping? That's it?
He definitely did not catch him sleeping, I'll
No,
tell you
he did
that.
not at all.
As Snoop is out of this session, I don't even know what happened.
Huh. That was right before the restart.
Yeah, Snoop died. And driver now to watch will be Connor. Will he die as well? I don't know.
Drip went into the pits as well, too, for soft. So I'm not sure if he got wing damage potentially during the safety car. Not sure what the logic there was.
I don't
But
know.
Raz trying to make a gap.
Yeah, he's got to build a gap. Garrett and Shaggy, P3 and P4, they do have the penalties. One might get removed. Um, but penalties are killer, especially on this track. The way it is, I think the way the track is, with the way the DRS is, um, it's more group oriented, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's more
Mm-hmm.
packed up, and so those penalties, I think they mean more here than they would at any other track.
I agree. There's not as much of an opportunity to spread out, right? Unless you really have a pace advantage. And as we go up in divisions, right? I mean, like, I feel like the D2 guys are going to be bunched together a little more than, say, the D3
Yeah.
guys, right? There's
Hmm.
less parity in pace and talent. So, yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I think these penalties are huge at this track. And the track limits could kind of be inconsistent, too. Like, right? In the S's, too. I mean, it's easy to, think you're on it, and then you take one line, you're clean, you take the same one again, and now you got hit with a 3-second.
As Brian Hackman looks at a move on Alex, and he doesn't. But yeah, you feel like maybe you're just half an inch, a millimeter off during the S's, and it gives you a 3-second time penalty. But then, other times you feel like you cut the corner completely, and it's like you just did it perfectly. It's very inconsistent, and I'm sure the better drivers find consistency in that inconsistency that they can take advantage of. But I am not one of those drivers, and I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I'm there yet either. Right now, the top 11 all within 1 second of each other. So when DRS kicks in, I believe next lap, might have a little bit of a train.
And then we got to really look out for Ethan and Alex. Ethan had a terrible exit, but so did Brian. They're on that soft tire, and so they have to make their moves right now. They need to build a gap to the people that they're racing against, because towards the end of that race, their lap times are going to plummet.
Something we may have missed, OG, is it looked like Sleek went back into the pits. Now, I don't know if that was per damage or just to adjust the tire choice. So now he's on fresh mediums, currently sitting in P18. That's going to have huge implications in the constructor
That is,
standings,
it's going
right?
to. Oh, as Ethan, a little bit of damage between the wall and Brian. Yeah, that Ferrari is going to have, it's going to have huge, huge ramifications. So Sleek hoping for a late safety car, early or a mid safety car as well, just to bring him back into the equation, really. A lot of weird tire mishaps this race, though.
Yeah. Ethan trying to make those soft stick as he
Oh,
goes wheel to wheel with Brian Hackman.
and
And he
Brian
goes
Hackman,
sideways.
he's just killed Brian Hackman.
Oh,
Ethan, man, get some rest, come back tomorrow, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
tough. Puts Brian in a tough position now. He'll probably have to come in with some damage. And again, it's shaking things up.
Espanini is spun out, coming out of that, I don't know what it is that after that first, I think he has damage as well. After that first DRS, is it a hairpin? It's really I don't know what you call it. It's really,
Call it a hairpin. It's like a fat hairpin.
yeah, it's a fat
But
hairpin.
yeah,
He spun
yeah,
out there.
Spanini letting guys pass as he's got damage.
And so Mr. Sandunga had a bit of a slip up as well, as
Ooh.
Alex up into P8 is coming up on him and Marino.
Marino holding his own. Curly in P7, D3, right? Looking good here in front of the D2 guys. Sandunga into the pits.
And Garrett Elder just passed Big Mama Frank on the straight. Garrett has his sights set on Raz now. Shaggy Muffin has his sights set on Big Mama Frank, but don't count Sid out. Sid, he knows he's got 13 laps left. He's buying his time. He's going to strike. He's one of the smartest drivers on the grid. He's going to strike whenever the moment is right. So even though he's down P5 right now, don't count Sid out from a podium or a win.
Yeah, definitely looking at Sid there in P5 to start making some moves. I'm also looking at that gap between Raz and Garrett Elder, currently sitting at 1.3 seconds. So if Raz does have the pace to keep that gap intact, it'll be really tough without DRS for Garrett Elder to, A, to make ground on Raz, and B, to hold off the DRS train behind him.
Yeah, so Garrett's got to use all his DRS right now to get, and he's within DRS range right now. But something that happened during the S's that is huge for both Raz and Sid is Big Mama Frank got a 3-second time penalty. And those 3-second time penalties you don't really contest just for various reasons, and so that could really help out, Raz and Sid, because it doesn't look like with DRS that Raz will hold on to the lead on track for very long. He will be the net leader in terms of penalties, but how long will he stay in that 5-second window? I don't know.
Marino making it up to P6. He's been fighting with Alex
But
Duarte
Raz
for a
holds
little
it.
while.
I'm so sorry for interrupting. Raz holds it. It looked like Garrett had the move on right there. Raz, little bit of late breaking magic right there. Stays in the lead. So Raz is putting on a masterclass right now, showing he belongs in Division 2. This is I think this is great racing for Division 2. But then, it kind of gives us Division 3 guys, maybe we're actually pretty good. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, I'd like to think that, right? I'd like to think the talent level is just so high. That's why I keep finishing in P14. So we'll go with that, as Raz will try to increase that gap again, but Garrett will try to stay in range. And see, this is where the strategy comes in, right? He's going to be right on his butt coming into Sector 3, right? Probably. Like, right now he's using his ERS to stay within range, but do you make the pass in 3, or do you wait till 1?
I don't know. I feel like you make it. Dude, I don't know. It's all so dependent. And we just saw Raz is not afraid to break late, and so Garrett's going for it here.
Ooh.
Is he gonna break early? No. So Raz is gonna have DRS, but so is Shaggy Muffin. Shaggy Muffin's gonna have DRS on Raz. But is he a little bit too far back?
No. And he had the outside line. That was really well done, because right at the end of Sector 3, Raz took the wide line to get a better exit going into Sector 1. And then obviously, I feel like that outside line going into Turn 1 is so much better, because you have to brake so much harder on the inside, and you lose so much time. He was able to make that stick.
Yeah, and you can get on the power a little bit early, and by the time you're building speed earlier, and so by the time you get down there, you have quite a bit more speed than the person that may have taken the inside line. But Raz is really putting on a defensive masterclass right now against two former Division 1 drivers, two great drivers. That definitely could be moved up without a doubt. Is Drip, DNF. So is that going to be a safety car? That is going to be a safety car.
It
so
is.
Sleek, you're
Wow.
back in the equation. Your prayers were answered only 3 laps later. I go to the softs. Everyone pit to the softs. That's what you have to do. Everyone pit to the softs.
Yeah, with 10 left. The question is, though, do they have a fresh set?
Oh, oh. I know. I mean, those people that already use their softs like that already switched. Ah, yeah, all
I'm
those
not
tire
sure,
mishaps
right?
earlier.
So I don't know how that works. Um, maybe for the medium tire runners, would they have a scrub set from qualifying that they can use, right? Or
I
I'm
don't.
not sure.
I don't know.
Because that scrub set would be better than like the scrub set they started the race on, right?
And Raz, is he trying to juke him out? No, Raz is going into the pits. Raz is going into the pits. I think it's the smart move. And Garrett, opposite Raz. That's what he did right there. I think that's also a pretty smart move. Um, but will Raz be able to?
Oh, he's serving. Was he serving a penalty?
I don't. I didn't know he had one. It didn't say he didn't. It did not say he had one. If he was,
That was a little bit slow of a pit stop, unless I'm missing something.
it
Looked
definitely
pretty
was.
slow on
It
my
it
end.
looked bizarre, and that may have cost him a potential victory.
Yeah, that's tough. Sitting in P7 now, so the pack will close up.
But look at that. We don't count sit out. He's on fresh softs. It depends on where he comes out after this next group of people: Cole, MVA, Big Mom, Frank, Shaggy, Garrett. If they pit, I definitely think you have to pit. But that's potentially huge for Sid. He's leading the pit soft runners as of right now.
How many times have we seen this though, OG? I think we saw this track last season where guys that you think you have to pit, right? And they become defensive wizards on old tires, making moves. I mean, you got 5 of them up there now, and
I
all of
know.
a sudden, Cole Queemans is now in P4, right? And he's turned his race around. And the defenders sometimes just get it done.
I mean, that is true. Like if you're a Cole, if you're an NVA, you were in like P14, 15, and then all of a sudden you have an opportunity to be up in the mix, up in great points potential podium. Maybe you don't pit if you're them, but dude, I don't know. The DRS is so powerful. Those S's, if those soft compound runners are going to be on your tail during the S's
Yeah, they're
and
gonna
then
get a lot of
blow
time
by
back
you on
there.
that DRS. So, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
I think we're gonna need one more lap of safety car here.
Yep, another lap. And Garrett Elder, we're going to see if he can have a good restart. The restart Freddie Rizal did not have.
Enjoyer going into the pits again too. He was on fresh softs. I wonder if maybe he had damage, but he's having a little bit of a tough time. P17.
Yeah, he's having quite the rough time. Is he? I think he was lapped just then, and he went into I don't know what's going on with Enjoyer. Um, Unfortunate. But, maybe that's a trade-off you're going to take. You're going to have one McLaren up in the mix for a win, and the other one is going to be, down in P20. I mean, people don't remember a P5 and P6, but they do remember a race winner. So I would definitely make that trade-off if I was a team principal.
Exactly. Yeah. I think guys like Raz would too.
Oh, I think Raz definitely would.
Yep.
Enjoyer maybe not so much, but dude, he's not in contention right now.
Yeah, the restart is going to be a lot, right? And no disrespect to NVA, but I think trying to hold off Sid on fresh softs might be a lot for him. I'm kind of predicting that by the end of the first back racing lap, Sid is sitting in P4.
I would definitely agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised with that at all. But, Cole and Garrett, they're two friends. I think they know each other in real life. I'm not 100% sure. They're both from Indiana. Cole now lives not in Indiana, but both from Indiana. So maybe, Cole wants to do something for Garrett, and he's going to just defend like crazy. That's what I'm choosing to believe. But then again, dude, it doesn't matter if you defend sometimes. Offense, a great offense is always better than a great defense. And so I don't know.
So it looks like, are we going to have one more lap here?
It appears that way. Is that Brian Hackerman at the very, very back? You know, maybe
I
holding it
believe
up.
so, but we have Enjoyer lapped in the middle of the fray there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. They're too scared. Michael Massey doesn't want to let anybody through anymore. Just keep them in position. No lap cars let through. As who went into the pits? PBJ went into the pits. And so he will be on fresh tires coming in with the last 8 laps. And his are going to be, you know, these laps were under safety car, but his will be just that little bit fresher than the people he's racing. So maybe that'll give him that extra oomph. And we are, I just now saw this, but PBJ had just before getting on finished Sebring their endurance race. So this guy is just a racer, you know, hopping in from one to the other after just doing a 3-hour plus stint and
Yeah,
watching and being in racing for 12 hours. It's incredible.
he could do it, man. He could pick up whatever game and just like get it again. Because you were talking about, going from iRacing to here, and I've been screwing around a little bit with Gran Turismo 7 too, and I had to warm up again in F1. But some guys are just like can just pop back behind the wheel of a
Yeah, they're
different
just
game and
crazy.
have the pace.
You know, it feels way too different. Way too different for me. But yeah, those guys, you know, like a Jack Fletcher, Travis Robinson,
Yeah,
PBJ,
Travis. Mm-hmm.
Duncan, you know, Adam. Adam doesn't play F1 anymore, but you know they
He's
just
an
swap
ACC
through.
guy, right? Or is he
ACC,
iRacing now?
ACC iRacing. I mean, he can do it all. If you can put him behind a real wheel, and he'd be flying.
All right, so what are the Red Bulls going to do here? We've seen this before, OG. We've seen them communicate on the restart and make it work. Let's see what they can do.
I don't know, but it has me excited. They'll definitely be in sync, and they are in sync. And
I don't
so
think Frank was fooled.
Frank wasn't fooled, but you know, just because they were in sync, it allowed Shaggy to get. Oh my God! And Big
Oh,
Mama Frank, Cole did. I don't know what just happened. And is Shaggy out of the
Shaggy's
race?
out.
Oh my goodness! There's got to be another safety car right there, but
I saw carnage between Mama Frank, Shaggy Muffin. It looks like Cole may have gotten caught up somewhere. Suddenly, NVA's in P2 in the Haas, followed closely by Sid. Wow, we were just talking about that too. The turn one, the restarts, right?
yeah.
As Sid goes around NVA, and he should be able to make that stick pretty easily in the fresh softs. Not much NVA could do there.
And Raz right behind him, tugging it in, trying to get past NBA as well, and he does, just trying to follow Sid as he cut through the field right there. But what in the world just happened?
And we were talking about a couple laps ago how Sleek had to come in and he was kind of towards the back, and that would have huge championship implications for the constructors. Well, here we are. Our Red Bull has DNF.
Yeah.
We have Garrett Elder on 10-lap bull mediums, Sid pushing hard on fresh softs, and Sleek is in P10. And if he finishes the race, then he'll have more points than Shaq. I mean, wow. Huge turn of events.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's just insane. And Raz still definitely in the fight for the win, and he's gonna want it probably more than anybody else right now, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's so bunched up right now. This is gonna be a chaotic last 5 laps or so. Espanini makes a move on Connery a little bit, and is he gonna make it? Connery he gets a run at the switchback, doesn't make it stick though. But you know,
That's
Ethan.
the soft tires.
Yeah, the soft tires are just, they're going crazy right now. Ethan was in a bad position. Now he's up into P6. Marino up into P4. So we got 2 Division 3 drivers in P3 and P4 right now. NVA down in P5. So those old mediums are not going well for NVA, and that's not a great sign for Garrett.
It's tough,
Sid
and
is
it's
on
not
his
a knock
tail.
on him as a driver. He's defending so
Yeah.
well. It's just like there's so hard to defend on these tires. These guys are so quick, especially here on the few slow turns. I mean, the exit speed on the softs is just
Yeah, it's
miles farther
unreal.
than the mediums.
And with 5 laps, maybe if it was, 3 laps, you could hold on, but 5 laps is such a long time. It's going to be super, super interesting. Wow.
And does DRS kick in the next lap? Are we there yet, OG? Sid and Raz are right up against each other's bumpers, trying to put pressure on Garrett. Sid gets a real good exit coming out of turn 24, that last turn. Going into the front straight. He might make this pass on raw speed.
But Raz is going to go for a move as well. And he does. They're 3 wide. And there's contact. There's a lot of little bumping. I don't think there's wing damage, but now Marino is in the fray as well. So there's a 4-way battle for P1 essentially. And Sid is in the lead. And Garrett's going to hold the rest back. So Sid may be able to run away right now. Raz is fighting with Garrett, but also having to defend from Marino.
And there's that time in the S's that you were just alluding to before, OG, right? Raz able to make that stick so much easier than Garrett. You could see him struggling with the car. He's going to make this pass.
They're going to go 3. Oh, they're not going to go 3 wide. Yeah, those softs are just so much faster right now. And so Sid, Raz, Marino all past Garrett. But it's not over. Maybe it is for Garrett. And now Garrett's got to look backwards and say, oh no. Because Ethan Patel, he's a second and a half back, but he's coming on fresh softs. And Garrett does not want to lose to Ethan.
Don't look now for Ferrari, but Sleek has made his way up into P8 and is putting a lot of pressure on Spanini and NVA. And we'll see. I mean, you got to have some cojones to go 3 wide into turn 1 at Jeddah, man. That was nuts.
Yeah, these people they're putting it all on the line. It's turned into a 5-lapper. And so, yeah. But Sid is already built a 2-second gap as Marino and Raz fight each other. They can't fight right now. They have to get closer to Sid before they can fight, and they're just not doing it. They got to be patient. As Sleek just touched NVA. Hope there's no damage from that, but because NVA was Sleek was on a tear, but it looks like there may be a little bit of damage.
Sorry for the little outburst there. I'm just watching Raz and Marino go back and forth, wheel to wheel. And I mean, look, you got 2 D3 drivers fighting at the front of a D2 race.
And you mentioned it earlier towards Marino. These guys aren't fighting for, they're fighting for potential Division 2 seat as well. And, I wasn't necessarily sure if Marino was up to the occasion. But seeing this, I think you were definitely onto something when you said that. You're definitely right. He definitely is.
Ethan Patel putting a lot of pressure on Garrett Elder too, although he hasn't been able to make that move yet. I wonder if he cooked his tires or maybe he's just biding his time. We'll see. But so far, Garrett Elder has been able to defend Ethan Patel well enough.
And we'll see what kind of position he takes coming into this hairpin. Forces Ethan to go wide, but Garrett will have DRS. And Ethan will not, but Spanini. So Garrett's going to get the position back.
Wow.
And
a great exit.
Ethan may lose the position to Spanini, but he doesn't. Spanini doesn't. He decides not to take out his endurance teammate, despite how much he may deserve it. I don't know.
They got a little train going there. Mr. Sandunga's here in the party in P7, seeing if he can improve his race a little bit.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of entering the fray right now. Mr. Sandunga's on older tires as well, 10 laps. Garrett's on 15-lap old mediums, though, and that's got to be a huge difference.
Hey, remember when PBJ pitted at the end of that safety car and he kind of joined at the back of the pack?
And now he's
all of a sudden he's in P9.
He's up in a P9 right behind his teammate. So yeah, it was definitely the right call. As Ethan did get past Garrett, 5 seconds back from P3. So,
And
yeah,
Mr.
wow.
Sandunga is on older mediums as well. He's got 9-lap-old medium tires, so it may be a little bit harder for him to make it stick on Spanini. This is a great battle going here for 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because, you think, fourth place is they're going to go 3 wide at this hairpin.
Wow. Oh, little wheel to wheel.
Wow. So they're four, yeah, they're all four fighting, and you think, fourth place, great finish, or you think it's seventh place, not so much, but there's 0.2 seconds as they go forward, and Mr.
Oh!
Sandunga's into the wall. That's gotta be damage. There's no way that's not damage.
I think I saw a little metal come off the wing. Yeah, so he might struggle here. He's got one more lap to go, but he might have to nurse it. PBJ is going to probably catch up and try
Yep.
to make a move.
So out is Mr. Sandunga. In comes PBJ. Wow.
So as you watch that battle unfold, right, looking at the podium places right now, Marino currently sitting in P2, but he's got that 3-second penalty. So even if he can hold off Raz is looking at a P2, and I wonder if that will affect how aggressive Marino is at defending, right? The position's pretty much already lost to Raz, so if you're going to lose time, it's almost better to let him pass.
Yeah, see, that's why I was saying earlier they're fighting because they just want that position. But if they wanted to get further from the field, they wanted to even have a chance at winning, dude, they just have to play in tandem with each other. But as we come to the line, your race winner at Jeddah is Sid. We was in. Oh, we're not there yet. I thought we were in the final lap. I was like, oh my goodness. He's going to be the race winner barring something crazy. But, oh my goodness.
Don't say that, OG. You're going to get us in trouble now if something happens.
Well, I'm rooting for my boy Raz. Really, I'm rooting for Garrett, but the tires are destroyed.
Yeah, that's tough the way the strategy unfolded there. Spanini looks like he picked up another penalty, so that's 6 seconds. Might drop him all the way back to like P10.
Yeah, so that late safety car, everyone's bunched up. So on a track that people are normally bunched up anyway, safety car gets everyone even closer than normal. And PBJ is looking to hunt down, what position could he get? If we go through penalties, he could
get a P4.
Yeah.
Yeah?
PBJ in his return, or not his return, I don't know if he was there. In his return for in Buffalo's broadcasting, he could get a P4.
Yeah, I think Marino and Raz are just kind of fighting for pride here right now. I mean, this is great. This is just great to watch. They know it's wrapped up with penalties, right? But they're racing hard. This is what it's about.
And I misspoke a lap earlier, but this time I mean it. This time it's for real. Make sure those are fireworks and not something else. Sid is the race winner for Jeddah, followed by Raz, who gets to the line first. So despite the penalty, it doesn't even matter. Raz gets P2, Marino P3. Marino's teammate Ethan Patel P4, Spanini on track P5, but PBJ gets the P5. Really, Garrett Elder P7, or Garrett's falling down the line because of that penalty. It's going to get removed, so Garrett P7-ish, MVA 8, Sleek 9, the penalty. Sandunga with the damage, 10. So, we mentioned earlier, the Mercedes normally don't have a great qualifying. They have great race. This seemed like the opposite. Mr. Sandunga was in a great spot, though. It necessarily wasn't his fault. Same with Big Mom Frank. They were in great spots the entire race, and then it kind of all fell apart. But phenomenal race, phenomenal patience from Sid, who was in that P4 position, waiting for that time to strike, waiting to see what was going to go on, and then right when he needed to, bam, he made it stick. And then Raz, leading the entire race, had a weird pit stop. Maybe the race is over. Maybe he won't get a podium. Maybe he won't get the win. He doesn't get the win, but he gets a P2 in Division 2. Phenomenal. Marino also getting a podium. So Division 3. I mean, Division 3 got 2 out of the 3 podiums. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible. And all the guys we wanted to watch, too. PBJ did great. Raz did great. Marino did great. And I want to give a little shout out to NVA too. He had some hard luck in a lot of D2 races. got involved in some scuffles, some of them not. And there he is, driver of the day, and some of them not his fault. He had the pace today. He made it stick. The strategy worked. So congrats, NVA. Really, really well fought P8.
Yeah, I mean, and NBA is definitely coming into his own. Um, definitely feeling better. All right, so let's get some interviews with Sid, with Fred, and with Marino. Waiting room. And so, while we wait for the waiting room to fill up, we can just sit around, you know, go get a drink real fast before you can get your, before you come back, listen to the interviews. We have P2 Freddie Rizal in the waiting room right now. And we're going to go ahead and pull him in. Freddie.
Yo.
I mean,
P2,
yeah,
back.
you were in the lead for majority of the race. So I mean, dude, that was absolutely awesome. Did you think, coming into this, it was D2, you had pace here, but did you think you were going to be in the contingent for the lead?
No. Honestly, just be honest. I didn't actually realise I'd be this pace. I mean, qualifying and my pace was exceptional. Even my race pace, I was like quick, like the whole race. Honestly, I was so surprised.
I don't think you should be, Raz. I mean, I think you showed a lot in D3 race, and then I think you knocked it out of the park here in D2. What were you driving for, man? Do you have next season's draft on your mind, trying to get a nice D2 seat and one of those like top tier teams? Because you drove like it today.
Well, I mean, it's the admin's decision, but D2 lock. Yeah.
I mean, you definitely showed you deserved it. I got one little thing. I thought you had the win, but your pit stop it ran long. Like they didn't even put on the wheels for a second. What was that about?
Yeah, no, Enjoyer, other McLaren, I think it was Enjoyer anyway. He just kept coming into like pit, like he always kept breaking his wing. So I was like getting quite frustrated, and then that was when I was getting like really angry because, I mean, really like I'm pretty sure he like pitted like 8 times, and I was like, bro, you've ruined my race. Like I went to P7, Sid jumped me, and I was like, right, it's end here, not getting a podium, not getting a win. But then something happened, and I was like, oh, maybe I am.
Yeah, chaos happened. But thank you, Fred. Yeah, you definitely showed, like, if they didn't believe, now they do. So appreciate you, Fred, and I'll talk to you later.
Nice job, dude.
Duncan, sign me up.
All right, so, I mean, there was Fred. Now we're going to get Ethan, who is standing in for Marino. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Marino, aka Ethan, aka Marino, what's going on?
Bro, super excited for the Alpine Garage, especially Marino, bro. He's had a terrible season in D3. He knows it. He's been kind of unlucky. Had a lot of incidents. To come out here in D2 and get a podium, that's huge, right?
But that begs the question: is it a terrible season in D3, or is D3 just better than D2 at the moment?
It seems like there's a little bit of bias in this booth right
Maybe
here.
a little bit.
I think there was a lot of carnage at the front for sure. I know those top guys in D2 like Raz, Buzzgod, Marino, they definitely have a lot of pace, and it's gonna be exciting to see. I want to say Buzz and Raz in D2, and Marino try to his 3rd season in D3 and try to hopefully move up after that for sure.
Yeah, he had kind of big expectations, right? He was the #1 pick in D3, and he's had a mixture of bad luck. I mean, like, what do you think it kind of means for him going into next season to do this? I mean, a little bit of like vindication.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit nicer for him. Not too high of expectations considering this rough season. I struggle with expectations as well. Last season, terrible time at Red Bull. Was expected to basically dominate D2 after my season in D1. Didn't quite go that way, so I'm here again. Just a little bit of less pressure, to kind of calm your nerves, and you're just going for good finishes. And that's what he did today.
That's what he did indeed. So yeah, once again, proven D3 is just
I never said
a
that.
talent bed. But yeah, thank you, Ethan, and we'll see you later.
All right, peace out, bro.
See you, man.
And then finally for our race winner, Sid, you know, he wins every other race. Like we're always interviewing. If he's not winning, he's on the podium. But today he's winning. Sid, congratulations on the win.
Hey.
What up, man? You know, you were in P4 for a lot of that race, and then, you know, that safety car. Were you just kind of, you know, biding your time before, you know, you kind of made your move and tried to go for the win?
Yeah, I mean, when the second safety car came out, before that, I was a bit nervous. I didn't really think that I would be in the fight for the win because I was in like P6 on equal tires. But when the second safety car came out, the Red Bulls decided not to box, and me and Raz did. So that was great. After that, I knew it was going to be easy.
Sid, did you witness the 3 wide in turn 2 towards the end of that race and that carnage that kind of resulted in the end of one of the Red Bulls? Did you see? I forget where you were. Were you ahead of that or behind it? Where did you see it?
I didn't see it. I think I was in it. I'm not really sure what happened. It was me, Raz, and Garrett going 3 wide. I went on the outside, and it was clean on my end. I don't know what happened.
I mean, it was, you had great driving. Like, after that restart, you know, you make the move done, you get in the lead, and then you fly to a pretty easy finish. You know, great race, fantastic win, and it's all, as always, it's just fun watching you drive.
Thanks, man. Thank you guys for broadcasting. You guys are great.
Yeah, appreciate
Nice job,
it.
Sid.
All right.
Thanks.
So we'll see you next week, Sid. Have a good day.
You too.
So that was
That
it.
was huge, man.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
fun.
Ferrari, points-wise for the construct, that's a game changer, right? I mean, this totally turned the tide. You know, Red Bull's a little bit now on the back foot here. And, like, is Sid going to push for the Drivers' Championship, right? I mean, right now, there was a,
He's in the
22-point
lead
lead,
now.
right? Johannes didn't race,
He's in
so
the
he's now in the
lead.
lead. Look at that.
So yeah, Sid is leading the championship with 2 races remaining. And so it really could go either way. But then if you look, if Johannes races, let me do the math real fast. If Johannes races, he has an 85% chance at victory, basically. He's won 85% of the races he's raced in. And the one he messed up, he still got fastest lap. And so it's going to be tight. It's going to be hard. Sid's going to have to be on a different level, but he's in the driver's seat. You always want to be in the lead in a championship. He's in the driver's seat. He's doing what he needs to, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, great track coming up next week, and Circuit of the Americas really became one of my favorites towards the end of last year when we raced it. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how this battle unfolds.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, that was a great race, and we'll see all y'all next week.